So this is still the Wallula Gap, but I'm at a different vantage. I went up a little higher. This hill that I'm pointing at right now is in front of the Twin Sisters. So I walked a little further north. And the reason I wanted to do this was because I got a really good vantage of the Wallula Gap. You can see that little section of where the water is sort of converging and funneling into the Columbia River Gorge. But back here, this area here is still the Columbia River, but it's so much more massive. And this is where that funnel is really large. This is a huge volume of water that is trying to make its way into that little bottleneck. And this was where the Missoula floods came. They came from this direction. And because they bottlenecked in this area, this whole region was inundated with this giant lake of water that was waiting to come through the Wallula Gap. And as it waited, it got really, really slow, and a bunch of material was able to deposit in these lands. I, for some reason, decided to point the camera in this direction to show you all the scars of the fires that had just recently happened. So I'm walking through a bunch of charred plant life here. It is fire season. I don't know when this fire happened. It was probably relatively recently. But I came up here to show you the entire expanse of where the Missoula floods deposited. And the fact of the matter is, all of that silt, the loess that deposited from the Missoula floods, they deposited over what is now Walla Walla and Pasco and Kennewick, and this incredibly fertile land that grows wheat and corn and grapes, and it's incredible for farming. I don't know what I'm pointing at there. I had to do a voiceover over my original video because the wind was so bad you couldn't hear it. But I know I wanted to reuse this video because of the incredible expanse of fertile land that these floods left behind that are still incredibly prominent today because they're growing so much of our agriculture and they're growing so much of our food. So I think it's really important to point out that a lot of that nutrition for the plants comes from 20,000 years ago. And mind you, the glacial period lasted about 100,000 years, and there were about 150 of these floods that came through this gap. So 150 layers of this loess that has made this area incredibly fertile and the landscape itself is just incredibly beautiful. So this is still the Wallula Gap, and this is the funnel part of that gap.